In this week's news, the death knell for community TV in Australia. Prayers of thanks as Fijian hostages are released. And Christian aid agencies helping after devastating floods in South Asia.
This is InFocus Christian News and Current Affairs.
Hi, welcome to the program. It's great to have your company. I'm Danielle Sinnott and my co-host, of course, is Kent Kingston.
I don't know how we do it, Danielle, but once again, we have an awesome program lined up for you today.
It's a miracle for Kent, that's for sure.
For instance, have you noticed the number of people who've been coming down with a particularly nasty flu lately?
I have, Kent, and I bet you're going to tell me that Doc writes in to tell us how to avoid it?
Yes, he certainly
Very
is.
good.
And we've also got Politics in Focus with Lyle Shelton. And I'm looking forward to chatting with Dr. Richard Elofa. He was raised in a Jewish family in Morocco, but he now accepts Jesus as his Messiah and has focused his life on sharing the good news with other Jews.
Yeah, which is fantastic. But of course, the news isn't so good for our viewers on Digital 44 in Adelaide. It's one of a number of community TV broadcasters whose days are numbered, unfortunately. An announcement by the Australian government that community television broadcasts will cease at the end of next year has been greeted with dismay. Christian media ministries, including Record InFocus, are among the organisations affected. Community television is often the only way Christian groups can reach a free-to-air audience. According to the ABC, Communications Minister Malcolm Turnbull said the broadcast spectrum currently used by community TV will be unavailable at the end of 2015. The spectrum will be repurposed or sold off to commercial TV interests. New research suggests that giving kids a sip of Dad's beer now and then may put them at risk of developing a heavy drinking problem later in life. According to the ABC, the research contradicts the common belief that parents can teach responsible drinking by allowing young people access to alcohol under supervised conditions. Instead, the University of New South Wales study found that in families where parents had allowed access to alcohol, teenagers were 3 times more likely to become heavy drinkers.
Talk about responsible drinking. We ought to be talking about responsible parenting. Teenagers often like to push the boundaries, and if you're already giving them alcohol, I think what we're seeing is teenagers pushing the boundaries on how much alcohol they drink.
Last Sunday was declared a day of thanksgiving for churches across Fiji. 45 Fijian hostages who had been serving as United Nations peacekeepers were released by Islamist militants from war-torn Syria. The Fijian soldiers were patrolling Israel's contested Golan Heights border region when they were captured by the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Nusra Front. The Fijian Methodist Church says the whole nation was praying for the release of the peacekeepers during the 2 weeks of their captivity. According to RTE News, Fijian officials were assisted by the government of Qatar in negotiating the peacekeepers' release. In an historic meeting, the heads of both Catholic and Orthodox churches from the Middle East have shared their concerns for their region with US President Barack Obama. The church leaders were in Washington for the inaugural Defence of Christians Summit. During the event, a statement from the president was received which highlighted the need to protect Christian communities and other religious minorities throughout the Middle East. The Defence of Christians Summit hit the news, however, when Republican Senator Ted Cruz made strong statements in support of Israel during his speech, but left the stage after being heckled by audience members with equally strong opposing views. Parts of India, Pakistan and Nepal have been devastated by monsoonal floods that have killed nearly 500 people and left more than 1 million displaced. Particularly hard hit is the city of Srinagar in Indian-held Kashmir, where people spent days stranded on rooftops waiting for the floods to recede. Christian NGOs are working together with government and other agencies to organise a response. In Nepal, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, or ADRA, is providing emergency medical assistance after one region had all 4 of its medical facilities destroyed by floodwaters.
Flood survivors are vulnerable to water and vector-borne diseases, particularly women, children, elderly, and also pregnant mothers. People wanting to support our work in Nepal and other ongoing disasters around the world can donate to our Disaster Response and Preparedness Fund.
ADRA is also active in West Africa as local authorities struggle to contain the Ebola epidemic, which has now killed more than 2,100 people across 5 countries. ADRA is supporting the Cooper Adventist Hospital in Liberia, a country where in just the space of 1 week, 300 new Ebola cases were reported. Working together with international and church-based partners, ADRA is providing more than $160,000 worth of medical supplies to both Cooper Adventist Hospital and Waterloo Adventist Hospital in Freetown, Sierra Leone. ADRA is also helping with psychological counselling for survivors and is providing community information on how to prevent the virus spreading. Time is running out for farmers in the south of Israel who say they want to plant 100,000 fruit trees before the Jewish New Year, the 24th of September. The New Year, or Rosh Hashanah, will mark the beginning of the Sabbath year when observant Jewish farmers will follow the biblical command to refrain from working their land. The planting program faced disruption as rocket fire was exchanged between Hamas militants and the Israeli military. But now, as the bombing has all but ended, efforts have redoubled, with some trees even being planted in holes left by rocket explosions. Earlier this year, New Zealand Christians were told that after 20 years of music and celebration, the annual Parachute Festival would no longer continue. But now, thanks to the efforts of fans who couldn't bear to let the dream die, a new festival is being launched. Festival 1 will be held at the same Mystery Creek location on the same anniversary weekend in late January 2015. If all goes according to plan, high-profile overseas acts Switchfoot, New World Sun and Gungor will headline the festival. Parachute Music has given the event its endorsement. Cancer is a serious issue, but it seems that increasingly people are having a lot of fun raising awareness and funds for research into effective treatments.
I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
Sydney Adventist Hospital staff got involved and, with the help of Wahroonga Adventist school students, shot this video entry for the Pink Glove Dance, a national competition focused on raising awareness of breast cancer.
I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No.
The hospital wants online votes for its video so it can win $10,000 for the Breast Cancer Network Australia.
Everything is looking up, everybody up now. This is gonna be the best day of my life.
Well, that's the news for this week. What a fun video, Kent. That would have been great to make.
Yeah, I was actually there for the shooting of that, that last scene when the camera pulls out and you can see the crowd there.
On the lawn,
yeah, that was a really good spirit. It was a lot of fun. Hey, stick with us. We'll be straight back with Politics in Focus.